23 minutes after the hour now, Connecticut ready to hand out $1,000 bonuses to unemployed people who get back to work. But our next guest calls this a bribe. Connecticut House Republican leader Vincent Candelora joins me now. Republican leader, you're not a fan of this idea. Why?
Well, I'm not. I think what we're seeing is the impacts of the federal government giving out so much money to people. The state of Connecticut has just imposed now two competing programs. So we have unemployment benefits that have been enhanced by the federal government to the tune of $300 per person. And now what we're finding in Connecticut is we have 65,000 jobs going unfilled, restaurants, truck drivers. We're having trouble filling those positions. And so now Connecticut, rather than like 22 other states removing that $300 benefit, they're going to continue that benefit at the same time attempt to bribe people back to work by giving them $1,000.
Let's go over the logistics of it all. About 10,000 currently unemployed individuals are eligible. It would be $1,000 per worker. That adds up to $10 million total. And here are the requirements. You must have filed an unemployment claim for the week prior to May 30th, obtain and maintain a full-time job for 8 consecutive weeks prior to December 31st, 2021, and not receive unemployment compensation during the 8-week period of unemployment. Ned Lamont is a Democrat, but Vincent, critics will say this isn't just a Democrat idea. They're doing this in Idaho, in Montana, in Arizona, 3 states with Republican governors. What's your response to that?
Yeah, so the difference here is that in those states, they're removing the $300 benefit, whereas Connecticut now is creating 2 programs that are competing against each other, which makes no sense. We should follow our Republican colleagues in those states and get rid of the enhanced $300 unemployment benefit.
Here's what Lamont has to say about all this. This is the latest tool in our toolbox to maximize our state's recovery from the coronavirus pandemic. We've already proposed millions of new investment in programs aimed at supporting our residents when it comes to workforce development. You kind of alluded to this. I want to get you into a little bit more specifics. What specifically are you worried about in general as how the CARES Act money is distributed in Connecticut? In other words, are you worried this is going to be a boondoggle for liberal causes, or are you confident the Lamont administration will apply this money sort of across the board to people who need it?
Well, what we're continuing to see is we're starting to see now strikes after strikes. So our nursing homes had a strike, our group homes, and more federal dollars are being thrown at those workers. And at the same time, we have other positions that might be paid less that can't go filled. And what the governor has done as well is he's only supporting the unemployment compensation fund to the tune of $50 million of that federal CARES Act money. And we are depleted to the tune of about $900 million that businesses are going to have to pay back into that fund. So he continues to focus on the employees. We think that we need a more balanced focus on trying to get an economic recovery and help out those businesses. And thankfully, our Democrat legislature joined us and is proposing to fill our unemployment coffers back up to the tune of about $300 million. So,
yeah, it definitely is an interesting bedfellow situation there in Connecticut. You guys in the legislature typically aren't buddies, but you're buddying up on this one. We will see what happens. Vincent Candelora, we appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.